Hebrews. It's Israel been Israel for the Israelite Brotherhood. Shalom for the Israelite Brotherhood. All right, check this out. It's the difference between transgressing the covenant and breaking the covenant. We broke the covenant. It's a big difference. See, while we was on our way into the land from Egypt doing judges, we transgressed the covenant a whole lot. We never said in our heart that we didn't want to do the covenant no more. We just start fooling with them other folks religion. As we came into the land, we just embraced them instead of doing the job that we were supposed to do, which was to uproot their religion. Don't fool with them, get rid of them, basically. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't do that. And we transgressed the covenant a bunch of times, and we was in a bunch of captivities. If you look in the book of Judges, all right, it's gonna be from about 1375 BC to about 1075 BC. This is after Joshua. Moses had brought us the law, the Torah, the covenant, the things that we were supposed to do. You see, the Amorites, the, them Amorites and them Jebusites, basically all our enemies kind of combined. That's another history that I'm going to, try to explain. All right, but during the judges, we transgressed the covenant, and then I'm going to show you how we broke the covenant forever. All right, in the book of Judges. All right, Joshua, from the tribe of Joseph, kind of led the way, and then he had passed away. All right, we're going to start around about, and I think Caleb was in control. All right, so let's start on Judges 2. And the angel of the Elohim came from Gilgal to Bochim and said, I made you to go up out of the land of Egypt and have brought you unto the land which I swore unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you, and ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of the land. Ye shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye not done this? Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be a thorn in your sides, and their gods shall be a snare unto you. And it come to pass, when the angel of the Elohim spoke these words unto the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voices and wept, and they called the name of the place Bochim, and they sacrificed unto the Elohim. And when Joshua had left the people, and when Joshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man unto his inheritance to possess the land. And the people served the Elohim all the days of Joshua, and all the elders that outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great works of the Elohim that he did for Israel. And Joshua the son of Nun, servant of the Elohim, died, being 110 years old, and they buried him in the borders of his inheritance in Timnath, where in the mount of Ephraim, in the north side of the hill Gash. And all that generation gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation after them which knew not the Elohim, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel. It's another generation sprung up after Joshua died, and they didn't know the Creator and know the works, that he had done, because the Creator had said he was going to stop driving them Canaanite tribes out, because we didn't, do what we were supposed to. We was worshiping their religion. We was transgressing the law. All right, and the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Elohim, and served Balaam, and they forsake the Elohim Yah of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Elohim to anger. And they forsake the Elohim, and serve Baal and Ashtaroth, And the anger of the Elohim was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them, and sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. Wheresoever they went out, the hand of the Elohim was against them for evil, as the Elohim had said, and as the Elohim had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless, the Elohim rose up judges which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them, and yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a whoring after other gods and bowed themselves unto them, and they turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of the Elohim, but they did not so. And when the Elohim raised them up judges, then the Elohim was with the judges and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judges. For it repented the Elohim because of their groaning, by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them. And it come to pass, when the judges was dead, that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, and following other gods to serve them and to bow down unto them. And they ceased not from their own doings, nor from their stubborn way. And the Elohim, in the anger of the Elohim was hot against Israel, and he said, because that this people hath transgressed my covenant which I command their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, also will I not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died, that through them I may prove Israel whether they would keep the way of the Elohim to walk therein, as their fathers did, keep it or not. See, we was going fresh into the land, and we was fooling with them peoples. Everybody that come around us, we wanted to be cool with, and we was fooling with their religions. But it wasn't in our heart to say that we wasn't gonna do the law. You see what I'm saying? We still would have did the law. We just got distracted by them people. You know what I'm saying? That was in the land and stuff when we was coming into our inheritance. Okay, that's transgressing. We transgressed the law a whole bunch of times. But when you get to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 44, it's going to show us breaking the covenant. Breaking the covenant means that we broke the laws that we got from Egypt. You see what I'm saying? When we come up out of Egypt with Moses, and Moses instituted the priesthood and the things that we shouldn't do and should do, and the things that was pleasing to the Creator, okay, we broke covenant, man, and abandoned that. And the Creator had said that also he was going to give us a new covenant. So I'm going to explain it too. But check this out. This is us breaking the covenant. There's a difference between transgressing the covenant and breaking the covenant. All right, chapter 44. You know, if you read the book of Jeremiah, it was like our last uh, uh, time on the promised land. It was around by 588 BC for the millions. Now it was some captives that was taken into Babylon at the same time that we went into Africa. That's a whole nother history, and that's the book of Ezra, Nehemiah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. Those five prophets covered that 1% that was taken to Africa when the millions broke the covenant and said we didn't want to do the covenant no more. You know what I'm saying? We didn't transgress it no more. We broke it. It was over with. And when you get to the book of Jeremiah and read through it, you're going to see all the acts, all the wicked stuff we did. Man, we did so much wicked stuff in the book of Jeremiah. But at the last part, you know what I'm saying, of chapter 44, verse 15, 16, 17, and 18, we had said in our heart, in our mind, that the reason that the Babylonians was coming into the land was because we wasn't doing the Egyptian religion, and that all our suffering and the reason why the Babylonians was burning our land up and kidnapping folks was because we wasn't doing the Egyptian religion. See, we was on Egyptian religion for about 285 years from the time that Jeroboam uh, uh, brung it out of Egypt and instituted it in 925 BC to about the time that King Josiah uh, uh, destroyed it. I mean, around about 640 BC or something like that. But it was about 285 years. We was on Egyptian religion, and then King Josiah get rid of the Egyptian religion, and then the Egyptians kill him. The Egyptians kill him, and then put us back on the Egyptian religion, and then we go into Africa, and that's what sums up the book of Jeremiah, and that's when we broke the covenant. See, breaking the covenant is different from transgressing it. See, this is why we lost our heritage, is because we broke the covenant. See what I'm saying? So we had all the curses that the prophet Moses spoke about coming. You know what I'm saying? All right, when you get to Jeremiah 44, chapter uh chapter 44, verse 15, 16, 17, and 18. All right. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by a great multitude, even all the people that dwell in the land of Egypt and Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken to us in the name of the Elohim, we will not hearken unto thee, but we will certainly do so whatever thing go forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings, our princes in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals and were well, and saw no evil. But since we left off to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by famine. So we thought the reason that the Babylonians was coming into the land was because we wasn't doing the Egyptian religion. So we abandoned the covenant completely right then. But if you go to Deuteronomy, they show you that the Creator know everything. Deuteronomy, that's going to be Deuteronomy 31:16. And this is what the Creator told Moses. And the Elohim said unto Moses, Behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go a whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land, whether thou go to be among them, and will forsake me and break my covenant which I command thee. And it kind of went just in that order, because as we was going into the promised land in the book of Joshua, then we started doing just what he said, whoring around with them other gods. And then in the book of Jeremiah later on, we broke the covenant. You see what I'm saying? So everything happened just like the Creator said. And we broke the covenant. All right, then if you go to verse 29, that'll be Deuteronomy 21:29. And this is what Prophet Moses said. For I know that after my death, ye will utterly corrupt yourselves, and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you, and evil will befall you in the latter days, because ye will do evil in the sight of the Elohim, to provoke him to anger through the works of your hands. And now, that's sure enough what happened. And what we've been going through as a people, being ultimately evil. Ultimately evil. Everything that happened to us, and the success that some of us claim that success is really not success, because the people can't share in it. And we done been through it. The curses for us breaking that covenant and going into Africa, Egypt, to worship the Egyptian religion broke our back. Them Egyptians broke our back. See, a lot of Hebrews don't know that the Egyptians, Pharaoh was real slick. Pharaoh was slick. See, Pharaoh had to do trade. Pharaoh had to do trade across the promised land. See, Pharaoh had to do a trade on the other side. Pharaoh had relatives all in Mesopotamia area. You see what I'm saying? Because they was Hamites. The Hamites created the civilization in Mesopotamia. Babylon and so forth. Nimrod. Going back to Nimrod and Cush and them. Building the Mesopotamian empires. Well, us having that promised land, and we supposed to get rid of the idol worshippers and in the false gods, like we were supposed to get rid of the Canaanites. Well, them Canaanites was kin to Ham, them Hamites. So if we was getting rid of the Canaanite false idol gods, Egypt knew that they was basically through and was done with us having the covenant right there, because that was gonna cut them off from coming across to do trade. They didn't have planes and all that stuff. So everybody tried to keep us transgressing the law. Everybody want us to transgress the law. You see what I'm saying? So Egypt had to do trade. So, Egypt put Joseph, gave him the priest of own daughter, Asenath. And from Asenath, you get Ephraim. And Ephraim descendants, Jeroboam. Joshua was the best thing, that kind of come from Ephraim because he led the way. But Ephraim, one of Ephraim descendants, you know, one of Joseph descendants, Ephraim, Jeroboam brung the two golden calves out of Egypt and put that on the northern kingdom. That doomed us. You see what I'm saying? And then during that time, that allowed the Egyptians to fool with the Syrians and everybody. You see, everybody played a part in our downfall. All the nations, all the tribes and peoples, during them times, hated that we had contact with the Creator. So they all played a part in our downfall. But we transgressed the law. And when you transgress the law, man, it's over with. That's going to lead to breaking the law. And that's what happened to us in the book of Jeremiah. We said we didn't want to do the covenant no more. We said we didn't want to do the covenant no more. And we went into Africa and we never come back out. After the Babylonians was destroyed by the Persians, the ones that went into Africa in the book of Jeremiah had a chance to change their heart. The Creator still left the door open, because when the Persians took Egypt over, they was friendly to the Hebrews. They had let Nehemiah, Ezra, and Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, and them come home and try to rebuild the land. You see, so we that went into Africa had the chance to come out, but we didn't, because we said in our heart that we was going to do the Queen of Heaven religion during the Babylonian, captivity, during the Babylonian times. And then when the Persians freed the exiles and destroyed Babylon and took Egypt over, we could have come back out, but we didn't. So that's why you got the book of Ezra, Nehemiah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. Those five prophets covered that 1% that was taken to Babylon and that came back home around about 538 BC. And when they come home, man, they sin so bad. That's what made the Greeks roll up and destroy them completely. Completely. The prophet Isaiah had already prophesied it. If you read chapter 6, of Isaiah, he kind of explained the captivities in detail, and he explained a tenth. That tenth was the exiles that was taken to Babylon, and they was destroyed. They was eaten alive. So, our whole history can be understood now. This is the Israelite brotherhood, but it's a difference between transgressing the law and breaking the law. You see, that's why the Creator told the prophet Jeremiah this. 31. See, a lot of us be trying to do our old law, and which is cool to walk in the old ways, but we can't do nothing that we once had and did, because it required land and us to have some type of rulership. All right. Jeremiah 31. Behold, the days come, said the Elohim, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand and brung them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them. See, that's in the book of Jeremiah, we see that we was through with the covenant and we went into Africa. We got to get the curses, and after we come up out of this situation, then we'll come into our new heritage because we'll have some control. We'll have some control, and we'll be able to say what's accepted and what's not accepted in the Hebrew community without the influence of others. Because we're gonna lead the way then. So that's why we're gonna get a new covenant. All right. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Elohim. I will put my law in their inward parts